Want to meet 5 amazing words and remember them for a lifetime? Well, you have reached the best destination on the internet to do so. This is Amit Kumar Mehta, and today I'll be trying to help you with 5 words, 5 difficult words in an extremely simple way so that you can remember them for a lifetime. But before we do that, let me tell you words number 1, 3 and 5 are my favorites, and you will understand in a short while why these words are my favorite for the day. Now, this is Amit Kumar Mehta, and I have been helping students, housewives and working executives across India for the last 5 years master those seemingly difficult words which are a favorite of editorial boards, words which are a favorite in any examination. Master these words in a way so that they can sound sophisticated, they can cast a very good impression among their friends, relatives, colleagues, employers, and score more in examinations which require English as a major component. So quickly moving on to the words for the day. I told you word number 1, 3 and 5 are my favorites. Let us quickly start with the words. The first word is, my favorite is sublime. Sublime is basically great, outstanding, excellent, splendid, delightful. Hindi would be uttam ya bhayava ya bhavya. Antonym is ordinary. Now sublime, how do you remember this particular word? In the brain friendly way, the Word-A-Holic-Z way, through the usage of mnemonics, through the usage of underlining method, and through the method of visuals. Now look at the visual that we have provided. This particular character, this particular star is under the limelight. Generally on a stage you have the yellow light being thrown on the person. So if the subject is under the limelight, look at the visual, look at the underlined portion. If the subject is under the limelight, that means he or she is doing something which is very, very outstanding. The topic that they are dealing in is very, very important because the subject is under limelight. That is how you remember this particular word. Moving on to the usages. Sublime performance, great performance, outstanding performance. Sublime knock, sublime display. Sentence 1. Skoda Superb 2016. In this made for Indian roads version of Skoda, the ride quality is absolutely sublime, absolutely outstanding, absolutely great. Sentence 2. Captain America Civil War movie review. Downey Jr. is again in sublime form as a finally aging Stark. Captain Stark is again, Robert Downey Jr. is again in a very sublime performance, an outstanding, great performance. Sentence 3, 4 and 5 you can do on your own by pausing the video. We'll be moving on to the next word for the day. The next word is subversive. Subversive is basically when you are a troublemaker. It's an agitation that is going on. Two teams are fighting with each other. Is a subversive situation. It's a revolution between two warring parties. Hindi would be Krantikari or Vinashak. Subversive is Krantikari or Vinashak. Antonym is loyal or obedient. Pronunciation subversive. Now what is the brain friendly way? What is the Word-A-Holic-Z way of remembering this particular way? Look at the visual that we have provided and look at the underlined portion of the word subversive. Subversive sounds like सब के सब war में लगे हुए एक दूसरे के साथ. Sub war. Understand it like composed of two words, sub and war. Look at the visual. Two people are fighting with each other. So whenever subversive comes, look for the underlined portion. Try to underline these words and understand the meaning. सब के सब war में है तो कैसा situation होगा? It's a trouble making situation. It's a revolution. It's an agitation. And that is how you remember this particular word. What are the various usages? Subversive activities of ISIS. Subversive troublemaking activities of Al-Qaeda, troublemaking activities of ISIS. Subversive messages that were troublemaking messages. Sentence 1. Police along with other security forces are firm to tackle any situation and all subversive acts by the militants. Subversive acts of the militants, troublemaking acts of the agitation acts, revolutionary acts of the militants. Sentence 2. Over the years, Lashkar-e-Taiba has been accused of indulging in killings, extortion and other subversive activities. Lashkar-e-Taiba has been accused of using subversive activities to create a kind of terror inside the world. Sentence 3 and 4 once again you can do on your own by pausing the video. Before we move on to the next word, let me tell you the link to all these 1200 words is available in the YouTube description of this video. Go and download all the words and learn the words in a very, very quick way. Sound sophisticated and keep scoring more. Moving on to the next word for the day, which I told you is again my favorite for the day, and let me tell you how it can become your favorite in a very, very simple and easy way. Succour. Succor is basically a helping hand, a support and assistance, a comfort, ease. हिंदी would be सहायता करना, मदद करना. Succor is when you lend a helping hand to somebody. आप किसी की सहायता करते हो, आप किसी की मदद करते हो, is when you are succoring. Now antonym is hindrance or blockage. When you're not doing anything, you're hindering it, the progress, you're blocking something, you're not succoring. Now pronunciation is succor. Now what is the visual, what is the Word-A-Holic-Z, what is the brain friendly way of remembering this particular word permanently into your memories for a very, very long time? Look at the visual that we have provided. There is a particular patient, because of low blood pressure, she has fainted. What is the medicine that is being provided? A combination of salt and shakkar. Shakkar in Hindi is sugar. If you provide sugar to a low BP patient, somebody with diabetes, you provide him shakkar, then he will he'll get well soon. If he has fainted, he will come back from the fainted position. So that is succor for you, which helps something. It helps to get the disease out of you. It helps to provide him relief or her relief, the patient relief. Succor. So what are the various usages? Villagers crying for succor. Failure to provide succor. Sentence 1. Data reveals that health scheme for the BPL categories patients has failed to provide succor to a large section of the people. The health scheme of BPL is not being able to provide succor, help, support to many of the BPL families. Sentence 2. Government should repay bank loans of farmers in drought hit areas as a measure to provide them succor. Government should waive off the loans in drought hit areas. Why? To provide succor, to provide help to the people who are in trouble over there. Sentence 3 and 4 once again you can do on your own. We'll be moving on to the next word for the day. The next word is succulent. Succulent is basically which is fleshy, pulpy, soft, tender, delicious, delectable, something which is good to eat. Hindi would be rasbhara, rasila. Antonym is dry and shriveled. Like kishmish, you have dry and shriveled, and the opposite is succulent, which is full of flesh, full of pulp, is soft and tender. Now, what are the various usages? But before moving on to the usages, what is the brain-friendly way of remembering this particular word? Succulent. Look at the word succulent. Suck, it comes from the word suck. It sounds like suck. Somebody is sucking something. What do you suck onto? You see a ripe mango, you suck that particular fruit. You see a ripe particular fruit, you try to suck that particular fruit. It signifies something that contains pulp, something that is juicy, something that is pulpy, softy. You try to suck that particular fruit inside yourself. You want to eat it because it is delectable, it's tasty. You want to eat that particular thing, you want to suck the entire thing out of it. That is something that is succulent. What are the various usages? Succulent meat. The meat was succulent. It was cooked in a very nice way. People could chew onto it. It was fleshy. It was pulpy. The meat was succulent. Succulent varieties of mangoes. Mangoes, I told you can suck the mangoes. It is very succulent. It is full of ras. It is rasila. Hindi one, sentence 1. Mahilabad, a town in Lucknow district, is famous for being the home to some of the most succulent mangoes grown in the country. Mahilabad contains most succulent mangoes in the country. Sentence 2. Bosses are famous for dangling a succulent carrot to ensure that the work gets done, and also carried a very big stick should something unward and towards happen. The stick and the carrot rule. Bosses dangle a particular carrot in front of you. They show you the carrots, you run after the carrots, and they get their work done. The carrot is succulent. The carrot is full of flesh. The carrot is full of pulp, and that is what the employees most of the time chase for their bosses. Sentence 3 and 4 once again you can do on your own. Moving on to the last word for the day, which I told you, word number 5 is my favorite for the day once again, and let me tell you how. Succumb. Succumb is basically when you submit, when you surrender, when you are beaten by somebody, you have given up, you have failed in that particular thing. Hindi would be झुक जाना या परास्त हो जाना. आप हार चुके हो किसी के सामने, is when you have succumbed. Antonym is to conquer and win. Generally, it is used in the sense of any kind of a health problem, a health abnormality, like in the case of corona. 1 lakh patients across India have succumbed, परास्त हो गए हैं वो कोरोना के आगे. Antonym is conquer. 1 लाख लोग जीत गए हैं कोरोना के आगे. That is conquering and winning against a particular problem. Now, what is the Word-A-Holic-Z way, the brain-friendly way of remembering this particular word? Look at the visual that we have provided. Succumb is basically जहाँ पर आप किसी का sir, su could mean sir of somebody, sir, and कम होना. सर जब भी कम होते हैं, बहुत कोई बीमारी आ गई है और सर कम होते जा रहे हैं देश से, reduction in the number of heads in the country. The population of the country is reducing. Why? Because the sir of the people is reducing. कम हो रहा है, sir कम हो रहा है. When people succumb to disease, when people succumb to diabetes, when people succumb to corona, when people succumb to heart ailments, they are not no more alive. The sir is not alive, so they are dying. That is the meaning, and that is how you can remember this particular word, succumb. What are the various usages? Succumb to pressure, succumb to temptation. Sentence 1. Over 7.36 lakh people to succumb to cancer in 2016, and the numbers to shoot up to 8.8 lakhs by 2020, says study. 7.36 lakh have died because of cancer. Sentence 2. Rajasthan is planning a music and sports therapy in a bid to de-stress quota students after reports of 16 students succumbed to pressure from parents and peer groups. 16 students succumbed to the pressure. They died, they committed suicide, they ate something and they died. 16 students succumbed to pressure. बहुत ज़्यादा pressure थी, they died, they succumbed. उनके सर कम हो गए, they are no more in the world. That is succumb word for you. Sentence 3 and 4 once again you can do on your own. Now with that particular word we have reached the end of the presentation for today, and as I keep on saying, keep sounding sophisticated, keep scoring more. And if you have not liked the page, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. There is a ton of content for anybody who is interested in competition exams, wants to grow in life, wants to increase his salary, and also to comment with your feedback, suggestions, and any kind of response that you want to give us, or any kind of contact that you want to do with us. Do comment with your comments. Also go to the playlist section. The playlist section in today's date contains more than 300 words which we have tried to deal in a very effective way, in a very smart way, so that your life becomes easy. You sound sophisticated in front of your friends, relatives and colleagues. You score a very good image in front of them, and you score more in any competition exams which require English as a major component. It was a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you so much. This is Amit Kumar Mehta signing off. It was a pleasure.